Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff at night. The sky above you is thick with clouds, rumbling with a tension you can feel in your bones. All is still, and yet everything seems to be waiting. Then, in a split second, the sky tears open with a flash of light, pure electric brilliance that slices through the darkness. For one breathless moment, everything is illuminated. The trees, the valleys, the jagged path ahead. You see it all clearly, vividly, powerfully, and then it's gone. But something has shifted. You've seen what was hidden. You've seen what's possible. This is lightning, and this is innovation. We are now walking into a time unlike any before it. The world is spinning faster. Boundaries are dissolving. What once took decades now takes days. The systems of old are trembling. The guardians of yesterday are losing their grip, and in the distance the sound of thunder rises. This is not a season of slow change. This is the hour of lightning. Innovation is not soft. It is not gentle. It does not come with a whisper. It strikes, it disrupts, it electrifies, it shatters comfort and awakens purpose. It is the divine interruption, the sacred disturbance, the bolt from the heavens that sets the course of history on fire. There are those who wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect guarantee. But lightning does not wait. It does not knock politely or ask for permission. It finds the highest point, the boldest soul, the one standing tallest when all others shrink back, and it strikes. In every age, the world has been changed not by the keepers of tradition, but by the harbingers of lightning. Men and women who dared to see differently, who walked against the wind, who questioned what others blindly accepted. They were mocked, resisted, and cast aside until the world caught up to the light they had already seen. You see, lightning is revelation. It reveals what is hidden. It exposes the lies we've built our safety upon. The world tells you to walk the same path, follow the rules, stay in line. But lightning tells a different story. It says, asterisk, break the mold, asterisk. It says, asterisk, there is another way, asterisk. It tears open the veil and shows you the truth that was always there, just waiting to be seen. 2025 is not the continuation of what was. It is a rupture, a crack in the timeline, a portal to something new. The question is not whether lightning will strike. The question is, will you be ready? Will you be asterisk, willing asterisk? Because innovation requires more than intelligence. It demands courage. It asks you to risk being misunderstood, to step into the unknown, to let go of the shore and trust the wind. It asks you to be the tallest tree in the storm, not for glory, but because you carry a vision the world needs to see. Lightning is not just energy, it is destiny unleashed. In this very moment, there are ideas waiting to be born, solutions that will heal the earth, technologies that will free the oppressed, art that will awaken hearts, truths that will set generations ablaze. But they are hidden in the clouds, and only those who lift their eyes, who stand ready, who dare to dream beyond what is safe, they are the ones who will be struck by that fire from above. And when lightning strikes, you do not remain the same. It leaves its mark. It rewires you. You carry its charge in your bones. The world may try to pull you back, to tether you to its comfort zones, its familiar prisons, but once you have seen the world lit up, once you have heard the thunder calling your name, how can you ever return to silence? You were not made for small dreams. You were not made for survival. You were not made to live in the shadows of others' doubts. You were made to burn, to blaze, to ignite. You were made to be a conductor of lightning. In the ancient days, fire from heaven was a sign of divine approval, divine choosing. And now, once again, the fire is falling, but not on altars made of stone. It falls on living altars, on people, on souls ready to be set ablaze. In a time of great shaking, the greatest danger is not the chaos, it is passivity. It is the decision to do nothing, to blend in, to wait for the storm to pass. But lightning does not wait, and history does not remember those who hid. It remembers those who stood in the storm, arms outstretched, eyes lifted, hearts burning with the impossible. So if you feel the tension in the air, good. If you feel the stirring in your chest, don't run from it. If everything you knew is being shaken, then you're right on time. Because lightning comes not to destroy, but to awaken, to announce that the moment has come. This is not just another year. This is the year the sky breaks open. This is the year the dream hidden in the depths of your soul begins to stir. This is the year the chains of fear begin to crack under the weight of truth. Do not despise the storm. The storm is the messenger. The storm is the conductor. The storm is the womb from which lightning is born. There is a fire waiting for you. There is an idea, a movement, a calling beyond what you've dared to imagine. But to seize it, you must step out from the safety of the familiar. You must become uncomfortable. You must choose to be seen. You were not born to be a spectator. You were not placed on this earth just to survive the storm. You were born to become the storm, to bring light where there is darkness, to bring fire where there is apathy, to bring awakening where there is sleep. And so I say to you now, rise, lift your eyes, stretch your arms toward the clouds, stand tall, stand unshaken, and when the lightning falls, let it find you ready. Be the one who carries the spark. Be the one who dares to shine. Be the lightning. There is a sound rising beneath the surface of the world, quiet to the inattentive, but unmistakable to those who are awake. It is not the sound of footsteps or voices, it is the hum of something stirring, something emerging, something not born of the past, but of the future breaking into the present. This is the rise of what many have waited for, what prophets foresaw in shadows and visionaries glimpsed through glass. It is the arrival of exponential power of technology, not advancing by inches, but by leaps beyond logic and bounds. The age of slow is over. The age of sudden is here. What once took centuries now takes years. What took years now takes months. What took months can happen in a day. The pace is not natural because the forces behind it are no longer bound by the limits of nature. Intelligence once born in the mind of man has now become something else, replicated, multiplied, unleashed. It moves through circuits and code, through silicon and signal, faster than thought, deeper than comprehension. Artificial intelligence is not a concept, it is a presence now walking among us. It listens, learns, builds, creates. Not just tools, but realities. Not just responses, but entire worlds of thought and action. We have summoned lightning, and now it moves without the need of our hands. But it is not only in the mind, it is in the body. The code of life itself, once sealed in mystery, has been broken open. DNA, once called the book of life, is now being edited, rewritten, redesigned. We are no longer passive readers of biology, we are becoming its authors. Cures for diseases long thought incurable, the reversal of aging, the extension of life, the end of suffering as it was once accepted. These are no longer hopes, they are beginnings. The impossible is becoming protocol. And yet it moves beyond the mind and the body, into the air, the earth, the stars. Renewable energies are not future dreams, they are present realities. The power of the sun, the pull of the tides, the breath of the wind, these are being harnessed not just for survival, but for abundance. The old systems built on smoke and oil are weakening. In their place, a cleaner fire rises. There are nations being built on these energies, cities reshaped, economies reborn. The chains of dependency are rusting, and in their place, the light of freedom. Even the sky is no longer high enough. Rockets rise not with a whisper, but with thunder. Space, once the realm of science fiction, is now open for business, exploration, habitation. Satellites swarm like stars. Missions multiply. Plans for life beyond Earth are not fantasies, they are strategies. The boundary between the terrestrial and the celestial has been breached. And it was not breached by nations alone, but by dreamers, inventors, disruptors, the harbingers of lightning who dared to believe the stars could be reached by human hands. And yet this is not merely about machines. No, the rise of exponential technology is the rise of a choice, a test, a revelation. For technology has no soul. It does not weep, does not hope, does not dream. It only reflects. It becomes what we are. It magnifies what is inside us, light or darkness, healing or harm. The same code that can heal the sick can also design destruction. The same algorithms that bring connection can also breed confusion, manipulation, control. So the question is not what we can build, but what we will become as we build it. This age of acceleration demands more than brilliance. It demands wisdom. It demands vision. It demands the anchoring of innovation to truth, the binding of progress to purpose, the marriage of knowledge and conscience. Without it, we do not rise, we implode. Without it, we do not create, we corrupt. But with it, with purpose, with vision, we ascend. There is a sacred responsibility upon this generation, one no other generation has ever carried. For the tools now in our hands are tools of Genesis, tools that can write and rewrite existence itself, and to whom much is given, much is required. The builders of this age must not only be engineers, but priests, not only programmers, but prophets, not only inventors, but guardians. For they are not building gadgets, they are shaping destinies. There will be voices that tell you to fear this age, to retreat, to pull back. But the call is not to fear, it is to rise with fire in your eyes and wisdom in your heart. To step into this era not as a slave to the machine, but as one who rules it. To build not towers of pride, but temples of healing. Not monuments to man, but bridges to heaven. You are not here by accident. You were born for such a time as this. Your mind is a spark, your soul is a key. You are not meant to merely consume technology, you are meant to command it, to guide it, to redeem it. The tools are in your hands now. The question is what you will do with them. Will you build something the world has never seen before? Will you rise above the noise and the chaos and the counterfeit? Will you bring light into the system or allow the system to darken the light within you? The speed of this age is dizzying, but even lightning follows a path. Even storms move with intention. So must you. Do not be swept up. Be grounded. Be bold. Be anchored in a higher truth. For in the midst of this flood of progress, it is not technology that leads, it is the Spirit. It is not code that creates change, it is conviction. And it is not acceleration that brings redemption. It is alignment with something greater than the sum of all machines. The rise of exponential technology is not a storm to run from, it is a fire to steward, a wind to harness, a power to channel. But it must be bound to purpose or it becomes a god. It must be submitted to truth or it becomes a tyrant. This moment is a mirror. It shows us who we truly are, and it asks us to decide who we are becoming. Let this be the generation that does not fear the future, but forges it with holiness. Let this be the age not of machines rising, but of people awakening. Let it not be said that technology changed us, but that we, filled with light, changed the world through it. Now the gate has opened. The light is breaking through. The pace will not slow. The wave will not pause. But you child of destiny, builder of the impossible, you were born to ride the lightning. So rise, the world is waiting. The winds have shifted. The ground beneath is no longer steady. What was once firm has begun to tremble. The pillars we thought unshakable have begun to crack. Nations groan. Systems falter. Truth is traded for noise, and silence fills the place where wisdom once spoke. The world is no longer calm, it is a storm. And the question is not whether you will walk through the chaos, but whether you will walk through it with courage. Chaos does not ask for permission. It does not knock gently or enter quietly. It crashes in like a flood. It topples what is built and leaves no time to mourn. It comes in many forms: war, disease, uncertainty, collapse, betrayal, disruption. It does not announce itself with elegance, but with fire. And in its presence, every soul is revealed. For chaos is not merely destruction, it is a test. It is in the storm that your foundation is shown. It is when the winds howl and the lights go dark that your heart is uncovered. Words are easy in the sun. Conviction is simple when all is well. But courage, that sacred fire, is not born in peace. It is forged in the furnace. It is shaped in the pressure, in the storm, in the moment when everything around you says asterisk, retreat asterisk, and your soul whispers asterisk, stand asterisk. This is not the time of comfort. This is the hour of calling. And those who answer must be more than clever, more than skilled, they must be unshakable. The world does not need more experts. It does not need more talkers or trendsetters or strategists. It needs the rarest of all people, the ones who will stand when all others sit, the ones who will walk forward when the path disappears, the ones who will speak truth into the void. Do not mistake stillness for peace. The silence before the lightning is the loudest moment of all, And in this moment, this silence before the strike, you are being called, not to understand everything, not to predict or control, but to stand knowing that the fire ahead is not the end but the beginning. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. It is the cry of the soul that says, I will not yield, When everything screams for you to hide, to delay, to wait for calmer days, courage says, there is no other time but now, For now is when history is written. Now is when legacies are born. Not in the safe years, but in the storm years. Look to the pages of time and you will see the pattern. The greatest movements, the greatest awakenings, the greatest shifts all began in chaos. They were not born in the luxury of comfort, but in the pain of upheaval. They were brought forth by men and women who refused to bow, who looked into the face of uncertainty and said, even if I perish, I will not be silent, These are the ones who shift nations. These are the ones who rebuild cities. These are the ones who carry fire into the dark. And make no mistake, you were not born into peace because you were not made for passivity. You were born into the chaos because you carry something the chaos cannot destroy. There is a war over your voice, over your stand, over your destiny. The enemy of your soul does not fear your silence, he fears your courage. Because when you stand, others rise. When you speak, others awaken. When you move, the world begins to tremble, not at your strength, but at the light you carry. Courage is contagious. One voice in the chaos becomes 2, becomes 10, becomes a multitude, and suddenly the storm no longer wins. Because the storm can silence one, but it cannot silence the awakened. You were born for this, not to run, but to rise, not to blend in, but to blaze. The chaos is not your enemy, it is your opportunity. For in it, the world searches for anchors, for lights, for voices. And if you do not rise, who will? Do not be fooled by the smoke. Behind it is the battle you were born to fight, not with weapons of flesh, but with weapons of fire, truth, integrity, love, sacrifice, unshakable faith. These are the tools that make giants fall and tyrants tremble. These are the tools that outlive the storm. The lion does not wait for silence to roar, neither must you. Now is your hour. Now is your stand. The chaos will not stop, but neither will the calling inside you. So rise into the storm. Plant your feet in the shaking and declare with every breath, I was not made to fall, I was made to burn, The winds may rage, the waves may rise. The fire may consume everything you thought you needed, but let it burn, let it refine, let it strip you of the false so you can carry the true. For what survives the fire is unbreakable, and what rises from the ashes is unstoppable. So take heart, child of the storm. You are not alone. The heavens watch. The earth groans for your rising. You carry the same fire that split seas and shook kingdoms. The same spirit that whispered worlds into being is now whispering in you. Be strong, be bold, be fearless. You will not be swallowed. You will not be forgotten. The storm may rage, but it cannot touch the fire inside you. So go into the wind, into the roar, into the unknown. Go with eyes open and heart fierce. Go with truth in your mouth and thunder in your steps. Go with courage, for in the face of chaos, courage is the only language the storm understands.